Welcome, Jackass Nation, to another episode of the Mule Barn. I'm here with our panel of jackasses. We've got Chad Snyder, David Lafano,
That's me.
Johnny May on audio only,
No one cares.
and Travis Juggles Rodriguez hanging out here in video with us.
I'm one of those.
He's in
So,
the exit zone. Exit.
Right, in the exit zone. So how are you guys doing tonight? We're doing good? We're doing good? Everybody happy? Have a good week?
It's been a long week.
Been a long week?
Yeah.
It's Wednesday and it's been a long ass week. I tell you
Yeah,
how our
I
week's
tell
going.
you. I'm looking for the weekends, but I don't really do anything different on the weekends than I do during the weekday, except for I don't have to get up and go to work.
Yeah, same.
The whole week off.
It's an important distinction though.
So Juggles, we know you haven't had a day off in like forever. Did you finally get one?
Oh yeah, I took this whole week to use my.
Oh, you've been off all week. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Is that one? Hell yeah. Anyway,
That is the first one.
Shut
First
the
official
fuck
one.
so anyway,
To the hell yeah count.
man, I tell you, I've had a busy week. Man, I guess we're going to kind of talk about this a little bit. I look like I'm 50 years old all the way, but I'm not. But damn, man, sometimes getting old just sucks. Absolutely sucks. I've been fighting fighting a summer cold or whatever. We all had it through here. Finally got that. It's still around, but it's starting to go away. But I have this tooth back here in the back of my head on the top. And that sucker has been hurting me like nobody's business. I broke a quarter of it off, right? And this is the bad thing about getting old is that shit starts falling apart. In my case, I went to the dentist yesterday and have to be at the orthodontist or whoever does the root canal tomorrow.
Like oral surgeon?
Yeah, an oral surgeon. Yeah, to get
But
a
dude,
root canal.
Just
fucking
tooth pain is
yank
the
it.
absolute worst.
Yank
Tooth
it
pain is
out.
the absolute worst.
And my poor dog, she's been sick. We've been fighting a battle with her ear infections and a UTI she's having. So we've been trying to fight it and figure out the right medicines for her. She's been to the vet at least once a week for the last 3 weeks. 3 months ago she went to a surgery which was $4,000. So she's getting older, and I've got to supposed to have her at the vet tomorrow at 1:30 and then go to the orthodontist at 3. So I had to reschedule her for Friday. So it's been a hell of a week, but you know what? I'm here on this podcast on a Wednesday, and I'm glad to be here with you other jackasses, and maybe we'll tell some stories, get some laughs out. Probably, most likely, say something inappropriate. So,
Well, I was going to say, if you ask nicely, you could probably just kill two birds with one stone and just have the vet yank your tooth while you're there.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure they got a pair of pliers. They got a pair of pliers in there somewhere.
Well, I'm not. So I'm saving the tooth. That's the thing is we're not going to do that. We're going to do the root canal, and then I'm going back to my regular dentist to do the build back, and maybe put the heck are those things called? Whatever on it.
Crown.
Cap.
Crown. Thank you, crown.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just sucks to get old, man. It's like,
Yeah.
when I was in my 20s, I could do anything. Hell, I was climbing telephone poles for a living, and maybe that's why I hurt like I do today, from my legs, my ankles to my middle of my back there. But I guess if these bodies were made to, I guess, take care of over time, and I haven't exactly done that all my life.
I can vouch for that. Being diabetic, man. Like I was telling my dad the other day, I was bitching about something. I forget what it was, but it's just he's like, "Well, you shouldn't be having that problem. You're a young man." And I was like, "I've been diabetic for almost 30 years now. Like my body's about 25 years older than it should be."
Right.
So
right.
like, so I run into problems like that a lot. Tooth problems like you're talking about, and just stuff like that, man. It's like my dad's big on that cliche, the whole you're only as old as you feel. And like some days that's what I'm worried about. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that. There's some days I wake up and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm good. I'm feel brand new. And there are other days where I'm getting out of bed and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can barely move.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think the same thing. Like, man, like, why didn't I take care of myself better when I was younger? Like,
Because in our minds, we're still young.
yeah, I mean, simple
Right?
things,
But
simple
we're not.
thing, yeah, simple things like fucking dentist, right? I fucking avoided
Mhm.
the dentist like the fucking plague.
I
Well,
still
here
do.
we are, I'm almost 40, and I'm trying to play catch up on my teeth because they're bad, and it
The good
fucking
news is
sucks.
The good news is when you play catch up on them late, there's less of them to catch up on.
Oh, true, true, yeah.
Well,
The problem just deletes itself.
chances are you don't have them as long as you've already had them either. So
Yeah.
you know they were good longer than they were
Yeah.
bad. That's what I've been. I told my mom about. She said, "What about those tattoos when you get old?" She said, "They're gonna look all nasty when you're all wrinkly and everything." I said, "Yeah, but they're gonna look great a lot longer if I get them now than what they'll look bad when I wrinkle in an old age." So it's kind of a win situation for getting tattooed. But,
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys remember. So back when we did the 24-hour Daytona, I think I remember telling you guys like my shoulder was fucked up, the Daytona 24, and it's still fucked up right now. Like I have not had it looked at. It's getting fucking worse. I'm like, I don't even dare. I don't even dare to have it looked at because I'm like, I'll probably fucking need surgery and I'll be out of work for fucking 2 months.
Dude, I'm right there with you on that too, because like my right shoulder's fucked up from walking around on one crutch all last year where my foot was broken. So and I know I wasn't doing it correctly because I should have been on two crutches. But what funny thing about being on two crutches is you can't carry anything. And I didn't jive well with that. So I'm like, nah, I'll do one just to keep the weight off the bad foot, and then that'll be fine. Well, after 3 or 4 months of doing that, whew, man, like my shoulder, it's been probably 10 months since I got off that crutch, and my shoulder is still fucked.
Yeah, and so
Like,
for the
it's
folks
just,
at home, you can very easily tell by listening to us talk who's the younger and who's the older, because Juggles and Johnny haven't said a damn word about getting old, because they're neither one of those guys are old. I'm the old man in the room. I'm at 40,
Fuck being
45.
old, dude. Times I've myself up playing sports and it's fucked up because
jumping out of vans and shit.
not even that would be at least. I just at one point when I was in middle school, I got sick with mono. It just kind of the habits that I had been formed, at least at that age, have fell to shit because of it. So I got sick, I got mouth sores, so I couldn't brush my teeth, couldn't take care of that, and it just fell out of habit. Trying to get back into it is the hard part. Not very good at keeping.
Hey, Juggles, I hate to interrupt you, but it may need you to turn that sensitivity back down a little bit the other way.
Yeah,
This-
Just a little bit.
it's a little
Motherfucker.
spot.
Or maybe sit a little closer to your mic.
No. I had
Yes.
the input volume up.
No, I think
No,
the
I mean-
sensitivity has to come down a little bit because it's only
Well,
picking up.
I
It's
mean,
kinda,
god damn it,
that's better. We heard that
Yeah,
loud
they're-
and clear.
you
there's a-
motherfuckers.
Yeah, okay. Say more than that though. The whole sentence.
We were just trying to help.
God damn it.
And
Fucking,
pause a little bit.
The arsonist had oddly shaped
don't-
feet.
fucking what? They have what, Chad?
Okay.
That's better.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds better. All right.
He got it, guys. He just needed a little push.
So you couldn't brush your teeth. That sucks.
Yeah, so I mean, what was habit, at least at that age, kind of just fell out of habit because of that. And it's been really hard to kind of get back into the habit of it. I don't know why, it just kind of has. I don't know.
Such
It's
as
always
life,
like
my
that.
friend.
It's always like that with the healthy habits you find too. Like I remember when I used to go to the gym regularly. Yes, that was a thing that did happen. And
Who's Jim?
like, I would I would go every day before work. I'm not gonna even address it. It wasn't funny, so it's fine. But
I mean, Dave clearly thought it was funny.
Oh,
it was I would go in the morning before I went to work and everything, and just if one morning, I think my longest streak of going was like 6 weeks straight. But if I missed a day, it was like the day after that was so fucking hard to make myself go back because it's like, damn, it felt really good to sleep in this morning. I don't want to get up again tomorrow. And like it was a struggle to like make myself get up and start doing it again. But with the bad habits, it never seems that hard for some reason. Like it's just
Facts.
yeah, the
Yeah,
bad
fall right
habits,
back
you
into
fall right
those.
into them. Yeah, it's funny how that works.
It's like a routine.
Mm-hmm.
That's because if it's fun, it's not good for you, and if it sucks, then it's obviously good for you.
Everything's bad for you, so you might as well pick
Look,
the fun shit, right?
I want the science they put into telling you how all this other shit's good to eat and this and that. I want them to put that science into inventing a damn a fucking tasty, healthy Baconator. The Baconator sandwich is amazing, but I want one that's healthy that tastes just like it. Do that, and science has done something good. I don't care about gender studies and all that crap. Let's study how to make the Baconator healthy, and it still tastes the same.
And cancel.
I'm not canceled for that. I just like Baconators more than I like caring about what gender people.
No, I mean, if you can make fake beef that actually tastes like real beef and has the same texture, I'm fucking all about it.
And they can.
Have you guys
science
tried
can do it.
Have you guys tried like the Impossible Whopper or anything like that?
I have. It was kind of dry to me.
I just
it wasn't terrible, but it was not a burger.
Like my boss is vegan, and I'll call her one of the good vegans because she's not the type that takes every opportunity to mention that she's vegan and that you should be vegan too. Like she's just vegan. She does her thing, and I've talked to her about it and everything. And she was one day like she was trying to convince us to go to the food truck. She's like, it's got vegan chicken, and I'm like, what the fuck is a vegan chicken? Like, answer me that question, and I'll go wherever you want me to go. Like, it's like if you could tell me what a fucking vegan chicken is, then I'll eat one. and to this point, has not been able to answer that question yet.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I just like that my food eats their food. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, my chickens
Yummy.
eat grass and shit. Is that vegan chicken? I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
I think that's just. I think you just call that a chicken. Yeah, I think you Juggles.
That's just what it's supposed to do.
Just a chicken. It's like if you ever heard of a poop sniffing dog? No, you just call it a dog.
Speaking of chickens, Juggles, you could appreciate this one since chickens, animals could kill you at any moment. My rooster called Rusty is gonna find himself in the oven here shortly if he doesn't cut the shit out.
You're gonna be a cock eater.
I knew somebody was gonna do it. He's got a rusty cock.
No, now every.
That's the episode. That's the episode title. Dave's got a rusty cock.
I kicked that bastard so hard the other day it flew him out of the coop, across the run, and into the fence.
Was he just being aggressive?
Oh, bad.
Get him up late for work.
Yeah, I guess. He's gotten to the point where now he jumps and flies like into my chest and tries to fucking stab me to death.
Yeah, that's what happened with Juggles. He just like spread his wings and flew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anybody got anything bad you want to say about Juggles right now since he decided to leave us?
Fucking dickhead.
Yeah. What a bitch. What a bitch.
So one thing I want to say about getting old isn't for sissies. I mean, that's a fact right there. That is the fact. Best thing. A buddy of mine said that the other day. He said, getting old ain't for sissies. I was like, damn, you know what? You are absolutely right.
The thing is, you'll never be prepared for getting old either. It just fucking, it's like one day all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, damn, I'm fucking old and I don't feel good anymore.
I'm not on my deathbed by any means, but it's like, I have days where I'm just like, my back hurts and I don't want to get up.
Well, the thing is,
then
like,
I have other days I feel good and ready to rock and roll.
Like I'm the world. I'm what 39, which is, I guess, it's fucking scary to think about that. I'm middle aged now, right?
Don't say that.
It's fucking true.
I'm 39.
I'm actually past middle age because the average life expectancy is like 70 to 80. So we're actually getting in. That's
Dave, are you telling me that everybody on this top row here is on the back nine?
Yes, we are.
Oh Christ!
I'm 30. Leave me alone.
You're not on the top
Juggles
row.
is still on
Juggles
is still on the putt-putt course.
You're still teeing off.
Oh, his balls still haven't dropped.
I don't know. I have a kid.
Oh, Yeah, I guess they
feel
have.
like
Yeah, you know, I
Yeah,
will
good
say
point.
30 with a kid's probably older than me, who is 39 without a kid.
I'm 39. Yeah, no.
What? All right. So what's we go? This
Burger.
is a feature we have every week. What's Juggles eating this week?
Looks like a
You just gonna
sandwich.
show it to
Nope.
us?
Is that tuna sandwich? Turkey sandwich?
turkey. Turkey
Uh,
sandwich.
Oh,
Ah,
turkey.
yeah.
Huh? Somebody splurged.
Are you working on your figure, sir?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. We all trying to figure out what it is too. Oh man.
Oh man.
So what are you guys doing? Here we are. We're coming into summertime. What are you guys doing for any plans for vacation? Anybody wants to discuss or
No,
forget?
I can't go on vacation because I got racing all fucking summer. So
Ah. No, like 2 or 3 day event. You're gonna go hit somewhere.
no, not at all. I
No.
mean, probably on one of a day we're not racing, whether it's Sunday or Saturday. We like to take the kid to go do some stuff. So take him to some theme park or amusement parks or whatever, or try to find some time. But racing kind of ties us down.
Yeah, I don't have anything planned either. I mean, I know the old lady mentioned something the other day about she wants to go to the beach at some point. That's like we're 3 hours, I think, from Myrtle Beach. So we'd head down somewhere that way. Myrtle Beach is turning to shit, so we'd go somewhere else. But
Yeah.
at one point, that was the number 2 destination in the country. Did you know that for vacations?
Yeah.
But now it's pretty much a shithole.
Yeah, my parents go every April, I think it is. They go to Myrtle Beach for a week.
Yeah.
So,
I used to go to the bike week every year in May. It was fun until it just wasn't anymore, and then go again in October, and try to hit something throughout the year just because it's close. It didn't take much to get there. But we really haven't put anything solid together this year. I'll tell you, one of my favorite places was I don't know if you've heard of it, Holden Beach. It's kind of between North Myrtle and between North. It's in North Carolina, but it's between like North Myrtle and Wilmington.
okay.
And it's called Holden Beach. It's one of those little islands out there, but you rent houses. There's no hotels there, just houses, and really nothing to do there at all. There's a Walmart about 20 miles from there.
So it's like 10 years ago, Nag's Head.
Yeah, yeah. And it's freaking awesome place though.
Yeah.
And you can do it for a decent price. Especially you get a few couples together that want to do it, or a few families.
That's the way to do it.
You can rent a big 6, 8, or 10 bedroom house with crow's nest and all that on the ocean, and
you'll save so much money rather than renting a single family house just for yourself and your significant other. Like it's just not
absolutely.
Last time I went, we stayed in Corolla with a group of friends, and one of my friends, her parents actually owned the house, which got us a significant discount.
Nice.
We spent the week down there for like $120 a piece in like two rows off the beach in Corolla. And Corolla, dude, I love Corolla. Like Corolla's like you were talking about, like with Holden. It's not quite as populated,
right,
as like right around Nag's Head or God forbid Myrtle Beach. Like you said, Myrtle, there's plenty of shit to do in Myrtle, but Myrtle's just like you said, it's gone to hell.
Yeah, the opioid epidemic has really hit that place hard, and it's just turned into a lot of violence.
It's very bad. Last time I was in Myrtle Beach, I was turning 15. It was on my 15th birthday. It was there.
And you haven't been in a lifetime.
It's been a long time, and I got knighted at Medieval Times.
Oh, that place is fun.
Nice.
That place is fun.
That was fun.
It's expensive.
The whole time, and literally, it's nothing. We did nothing but sit there and quote the cable guy the whole fucking time. We're just like down, red knight going down.
You gotta eat all the food with your hands because there was no silverware back then. Yeah,
there was no utensils.
They give you a bowl and you just drink that bowl of soup. Chicken tearing into it with your fingers.
I gotta find that picture though, man. That was rad. Like getting knighted for my birthday was pretty cool.
So I fooled them. They just didn't know that at home. That's how I eat anyway.
That was you, all right?
I'm watching a video of a kid getting drilled in the head with a baseball bat. Or with a baseball. I'm sorry, from the pitcher.
Cool.
I'm trying to figure out how I can help my kid like focus on baseball a little bit more because
I'm trying to
that's
figure
yeah.
out how I can
Need you
help
to
you focus on the podcast.
Just
Hey,
carry a baseball
I'm
at all
here.
times, and every time you walk by him, you just fucking chuck it at him.
That's true. Yeah, that would definitely do it. Hey,
Stay on your toes.
start with a rubber one. If that doesn't work, move up to the heavier.
No, the heavy one already from the start. Fuck that.
Fucking
Hey, start with the rubber one.
Especially-
If he stops listening, use the heavy one.
Yeah, a couple of knots on his head, and he'll catch that ball every time it comes in his face.
Mm-hmm.
No, I start with
Yeah,
the heavy
no.
one so that when he goes to school and the teacher's like, "Where'd the Bruce come from? My dad threw a baseball at me." I get a call. You threw a baseball as a kid? Yeah, the fuck I did. Fuck you mean?
I'm a good father. I was out playing catch with my son. And can't help he can't
I was-
catch.
Playing
Fucking
catch, it ain't
Mexican-
my fault. He didn't fucking catch it.
Mexican American Bernie Mac down here.
Right?
Fucking what?
The kid turns 1 year old. He's subject to get hit in the throat of the stomach.
There used to be a show on, I think it was Fox. And I can't think. Was it Tyson? Oh shit! Where his dad was just mean as hell to him when he was younger. I can't. Something Tyson or Tyson something. I can't remember. But it was freaking hilarious. They was talking about the kids crawling over, getting to stick his finger in the light socket, and the mother's getting ready to run over there. And he said, "Oh no, just wait a minute."
Don't do
Lets
it
him
once.
shock the shit out of himself. He only do it once.
You only do it once. That's
Yep. Wants to drink some bleach? Drink some bleach.
Mhm.
You'll only do it once. Kids at home don't drink. Disclaimer: I'm not telling you to drink bleach.
The mule
If
barn.
you do,
in
if
no
you
way,
do, you're no longer a jackass. You're a
Yeah.
dumbass. So don't do that.
the mule barn in no way endorses drinking of bleach by minors or
That's-
any other human being.
Right. Right.
Or eating of
Do
Tide
not drink
Pods. Do
bleach.
not
It's
do
a
that.
bad thing.
Just don't be stupid. How about that? That's
So if you could go on a vacation for 2 weeks, you had 2 weeks to go on a vacation this year, and you had money wasn't an option, where would you go?
I know exactly where I'd go.
All right, Dave,
Go
go ahead
ahead,
and tell
Dave.
us.
I would go to Italy.
Italy.
I've
What would you like to do
I've-
while you're there?
and whatever you do in Italy, I don't care.
Eat scatty? Eat some
Italy
scatty?
things.
Eat, drink, and fucking whatever.
Okay. I saw something from Italy recently. I actually sent this to Juggles, and he promptly freaked out and said he would never do it. It's a spa. It's in Milan, which is in Italy,
Oh,
and
fucking that video.
it's literally like a rain spa. Like you're in this room. It's like sensory deprivation, kind of. Like all the walls are projector. They have like lightning and shit happening on the wall, while also it's literally pouring rain on you, and you're sitting in a like hot tub. And I'm like, dude, I could stay in that room for days.
That
And
would be
Juggles was
nice.
like, no fucking way.
Nope.
Because he's
I
like
can-
open water, and you're in a 12-foot by 12-foot room, my dude. Like,
Yeah, and you
that's
just
not
said
open water.
sensory deprivation. Where the fuck do you think my head's gonna go?
Under the water if you're with me.
Right, fucker.
Well, the
Fuck
acid
you.
flashbacks for those shows you go to probably send you on one hell of a
I don't
ride.
do acid, you fuck.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
No, allegedly. I don't do any drugs other than the marijuana.
Go, I'm sorry, what? I
Marijuana.
don't speak Spanish.
He said Los Dragas.
Can I get a translation?
Weed.
Oh, weed. Okay, that.
Which we're not classifying that as a drug or not as a drug here on the Mule Barn.
It is
The
a
old-
plant that just
the
so
old-
happens when I set it on fire gets me high.
Oh, the good old sin spinach.
So where would you go, Juggles? You had 2 weeks, money wasn't an option, time wasn't, you just had the 2 weeks to do it.
2 weeks, money not being an issue.
You could take the wife or leave her at home. It's up to you, the girlfriend.
That doesn't matter.
Careful.
I was trying to bait him in there a little bit, but it didn't work.
Probably to the UK.
Gucci
I
Louis.
would go. No, well, maybe.
He said straight up nope.
So I would want to go do two things. One, I would want to go to a Liverpool soccer game because that's the team that I like. But I'd want to go to the British Superbike race at Cadwell Park. There's a section there that I'm assuming a lot of people want to sit at because of what it is. But if you look up the track, there's a left-right chicane, and then it goes up a hill that's at like a 60-degree angle, and immediately goes flat. So these guys are taking sport bikes up this hill like 40, 50 mile an hour, just pinning it up the hill, some guys at least, and jumping a fucking sport bike like 80 feet, or maybe, or yeah, 60, 80
I
feet.
think I've seen that video, some video on YouTube with that.
Fuck
Pretty
that.
awesome.
Because I don't know if you know about sport bikes, they do not have a lot of suspension travel.
Yeah.
They don't.
I started my street bike riding on a sport bike.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Harleys because I got wiser. See, again, some things are good about getting older. You don't do the stupid shit you did when you were young.
Oh no, the wishing you knew, like the whole I wish I knew now what I knew. I wish I knew then what I know now.
That's
It's a
3
big
weeks
deal.
worth of
It's like-
podcasts right there.
Oh God, because like if you have the knowledge you have now and in the body that you had in your 20s, dude, that's unstoppable right there.
So I think if I had 2 weeks and money wasn't an option, I would stay out in the furthest house from shore in Bora Bora. You know those little cottage like things they have
Oh,
out
with the
in
fucking
water on the
fucking
stilts.
yeah.
Yes,
that would be nice.
that is what I would do for 2 weeks right there, my friends. I
think-
wouldn't have to leave just me and the
Yeah.
little woman. We wouldn't even have to leave. They just keep bringing us food.
I think I
But that right
changed
there would be 2 weeks of
Yeah.
awesomeness right
changed
there.
my pick.
Oh, yeah.
I'll stay in the cottage next to Hillbilly.
Right on.
We can just sit there and toss each other drinks back and forth.
Right on. That'll work. That'll work.
It's like
Yeah,
that
that's-
movie.
that's-
What's that fucking Couples Retreat? That fucking movie. They're like,
yeah.
honey, we got fish. We got fish in the living room.
That movie is fucking hysterical.
It is hilarious. So Johnny, where would you go, man? What would you do?
You'd go to North Carolina.
And Johnny's not back with us.
There
Johnny
he
would
is.
stay. Oh, there he is. Johnny, what would you do? Where would you go?
4.
If you had 2 weeks vacation and money was not an option, where would you spend that?
Have
2
you been
weeks
paying
vacation?
attention?
No, it's Johnny. The
I
fuck.
told you I just.
He stepped away, I
just-
believe.
Yeah.
I just didn't know he got back. So,
2 weeks.
question still stands. Yeah, man. Money's not an option.
I think you mean money's not an object.
Object.
Because if it's not
issue.
an option, then I'm
Yeah.
not going fucking
That
anywhere.
is- yeah,
I mean, that could be
object.
dangerous.
Welcome to the Mule
That
Line.
could be dangerous. I don't know.
And don't say West Virginia.
West
Fuck
Virginia.
You don't have anywhere you'd like to go for 2 weeks.
I like to go back to Bahamas maybe.
I can
Yeah.
get down
All
with that.
right.
Yeah.
Never been there, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Bahamas.
I've been to Hawaii. Hawaii was
Jamaica
nice.
pretty
Hawaii
cool,
is
but
nice.
Yes.
I've never been to Hawaii.
But still, Hawaii is
But I
that
don't like
touristy
the
shit.
whole
Yeah.
14-hour fucking plane ride and fucking layovers. And
That's something you
I
get
can,
to deal
I
with.
can
if
only
you don't
imagine
know
what
this
Johnny's
stuff.
like in a plane.
I'm not
Time Warner-
bad.
Do you get
Time
scared? Are
Warner-
you scared of flying?
No. No, hell no.
Well, I mean, you figure when you're going
I
to
am-
Hawaii, you know if you're gonna crash, you're going in the water, so
Oh
it doesn't
yeah,
really matter.
without a doubt.
So
Yeah.
you
Time
know,
Warner
you know
Cable
you're
paid
gonna
my,
fucking drown.
First class flight because anything over 5 hours was first class. I was going there to work for them for 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
So I spent 2 weeks in Hawaii on them, all meals, everything covered. So that was
But you-
pretty cool. It wasn't a vacation because I was by myself. Well, I was with some guys I work with, but
Mm.
You want
you
to?
know, I didn't have.
Were you on Oahu? The
Yeah, I was in
Yeah.
Oahu. Yeah,
yeah, the downtown's
mean,
pretty cool. Like the open markets and shit. That was kind of cool down there.
Camaro convertible. I talked to a Camaro convertible at the rental place. Wasn't allowed to get an upgrade. Well, they upgraded me. I'm only allowed to rent a certain scale car, but
Yeah.
they got me in that, man. That was a cool car to have the whole time. And you just drop the top and put it up whenever I take it back.
Yeah, my parents went to Oahu years ago on my dad's company at the time, their dime, and he rented a Harley while he was there. My dad hasn't rode in years, but he was like, "Shit, I'm out here in this scenic area. Shit, I might as well. It doesn't cost that much to rent one." So he rented one and took a day's ride.
Yeah, as long as you stay off stay off the 6-lane interstate
Mhm.
deal. It's not interstate, but I guess highway.
Yeah.
As long as you
Hard to
stay off
beat.
of that, because people are crazy. I mean, they drive like nuts.
Mhm.
I took about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, and drove around on the coastal streets all
Yeah,
the way
that's
around
where he
the
was.
whole thing. That was a pretty cool deal. Ate at a food truck. One of the best food trucks I've ever had was on Oahu. I don't even remember what I ate, but it was fucking amazing.
I thought it was funny. Like you see it in the movies, like the big, fucking big Hawaiian dudes, like Polynesian guys.
Yeah.
When you go to Hawaii, that's a fucking real
Guys,
thing. Like
You mean
Yeah,
like,
it's
like
the
that's
Samoan,
yeah, whatever
Yeah,
they
they're
yeah,
Samoan
yeah.
guys?
They're
Yeah.
real people.
Oh yeah, like
Oh yeah,
they're out there fucking surfing and shit. I'm like fucking
So-
hands down, buddy. Fucking
North
go for it.
Shore, I get why they don't want tourists there. The North Shore is beautiful. It's you kind of got to know somebody to even be able to get really over to the
Yeah,
water.
you don't want
in
locals
most
to catch you
places.
there.
Yeah, they're
No,
not
but
friendly.
Mm-mm.
It's very,
they are
very
not.
cool location. Oh, I mean, I got out with my camera and took photos and stuff, and nobody said
Mhm.
anything at all out of the way. But I wouldn't want to walk out there with a surfboard.
Ooh.
It wouldn't be pretty.
It would be cool to see North Shore when the fucking waves come in. What is that? Like the winter time?
Yeah.
When the big waves come in, that would be cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Hawaii's fun. I'd go back, but I think I'd want to go to a different island like Maui or something.
I've never actually been there. I'd love to go, but I've never actually been there.
Yeah.
So I did the tourist thing where you go up and there's a waterfall at the end of this park, and then all these plants all the way up. But what I did was I went ahead and crossed the cable. It says do not cross, and then I hiked around and was able to hike up
Yes,
to
of
the top,
course.
hike up to the top of the waterfall. So people were swimming at the bottom of the waterfall, but I got to go to the stream at the top of it, and it started getting a little bit freaked out. I mean, man, maybe I could do some.
Yeah, I
gel
can see that now.
topping
You
or
look,
something. So-
you look up and hillbillies up there taking a piss off the top of the waterfall.
Right, with all these people under it, just getting their little waterfall bath thing going on their floats.
Oh man, why do I have American? I have American Pie 2 in my head right now. The whole I can taste the bubbles. Juggles. American Pie 2 was a movie that was done.
I know what the
in
fuck
early
American
2000s.
Wait,
I'll tell you another place if you get a chance to check it out. Northern California is awesome.
fuck no.
I heard North
yeah,
Carolina.
you get up there on the it's what do they call
Oh,
it?
you said Northern California. Never mind.
The Avenue of Trees, and you go drive along the Avenue of Trees, and I mean it's unbelievable how big those. If you haven't seen the redwoods, it's unbelievable. I went down to one
I would love to see the redwoods.
I went down there and drove a car through the one they have. You like pay $5 to get into the little thing. You go down there and drive your car. So I drove my rental car through the middle of it. I flew into San Fran and then drove up to Humboldt County where I was working, and gave me a chance to get to see all that kind of stuff. But man, those redwoods are absolutely just it's eerie.
It's
You
all
get out there
inspiring.
by yourself walking through that, and they're just like cascading over top of you. And there's not much sunlight.
Did you see Bigfoot?
I didn't, but I did stop at the Bigfoot. They, along the way on this 2-lane windy ass road, they have the Bigfoot like a sales place. You go in, and it's where the whole lure or myth came about, and all this and that.
Oh, it's real.
So yeah,
I believe
I
it.
stopped in there and bought some swag. Yeah, I mean, I know I have my cousin Daniel. He's the one that sponsored us in the Cup Series there with Top Sale Truck, and that dude's got like a 14 or 15 or 16 shoe, something like that. He's a Bigfoot. Yes, sir. Juggles! Juggles, you play the lottery any?
I played the lottery? Absolutely not.
No?
No.
Have any of you guys ever won the lottery or play the lottery on a regular basis or anything?
I think the
Only
most
scratch-offs.
most I've won is like $100 on a scratch-off ticket.
Yeah, I've won like my brother's in-laws, wonderful people. They like, cause dude, who buys anything for Christmas for their son-in-law's brother? But they every year they gave me a card, and it's got a bunch of scratch-offs, and I'm so grateful for that because they don't have to get me anything. And like for like I think the last like 5 years straight, I've won something off of it, and I'm like, yep, I look forward to the gift every year because I always win money.
Yeah. You know, that's exactly what I get my dad and stepmom when I go to shop for them for Christmas. It's always I buy them a huge stack of lottery tickets because they enjoy
Give me a
scratching them
stack
off.
like this.
Yep.
Like,
You know, I always that's how I win in scratch offs. I don't play the Powerball just because I've never won $1 on it or my money back even.
Yeah.
So I play scratch offs occasionally though, but I always buy from the same roll. And I usually don't ever buy any unless I happen to be in there and somebody's like, let me get 5 number 32s. They'll buy 5 of them and then I'll buy the next 15 or so of them so that I know there's going to be a winner or two.
Yeah.
And it usually works out pretty good.
The one time,
either they're going to win or you're going to win.
Well, if I win 20, I put 15 back in my pocket. I go buy 5 more of that same ticket.
yeah.
And it usually ends up paying off. I think one night I made like $95 total. Just kept going back in and buying more. Ended up with $95 profit in my pocket. So
Yeah. Well, I did it one time. I bought one. And the guy said, he handed it to me, and he's like, "That's $100 winner right there." I'm like, okay, whatever. Get in my fucking truck. I scratched. It was a fucking $100 winner.
that dude done scanned that ticket and then he canceled it.
I went back
As an
in.
accident.
By the time I went back in, he had already like shift changed or whatever. He wasn't there, but I got my.
Oh, you
$100
couldn't
and
wait to
fucking
tell him
left.
about it, could you?
Oh, well, I was gonna go back in and be like, dude, fucking pick me another one. Like,
That dude would have been like, man, when I saw you come back in the door smiling like that, I
Yeah.
thought you'd come back in here to tip me 5 of it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I would have probably thrown him 20.
yeah,
Like, here you go. You know what, man? Here you go.
pick me a fucking $100,000 winner.
Right.
Yep, and I'll give you 20 grand.
So I always tell him that when I go to pay for my lottery tickets, I'll be like, just give me a winner. Pick me that winner over there. When they pick it for me to get ready to hand to me, I was like, now is that a winner? I can bring it back if it's not, right? And some of them will play along and be like, oh yeah, you can bring it back. You're just not getting any money out of it. But,
I'll be honest, man. I'm the guy who bitches about, man, why can't I win the lottery, but I never play.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm that guy. Like, I'll say it all the time. Be like, man, wouldn't that be nice? I hate people that are like, man, I don't want to win because of the taxes. It's like, oh, it's only 200 million. You're only going to get half of that. You know what? I can use half of $200 million. I'd be completely okay with that. Like, I like some people. They're like, oh, I'm not going to play because they're going to get all my money in taxes. It's like,
Yep.
dude, fucking pay the taxes. You know what you get? The other half.
right. Yeah.
Like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. It's or how much is the lottery up to? Oh, it's at 120 million. Oh, that ain't enough for me to play.
Right? That's not
Wait a
enough for
minute.
me to spend $5.
Right. So it's like wait a minute.
Mind.
You thought about playing. If it would have been at 200 million, you'd have played that, but not at 120.
Well,
Your broke ass was in there going to play some lottery.
Granted,
and it wasn't high enough for
yeah,
you.
granted, the
You're
only
still
time I
gonna
play,
stand-
the only time I play is when it gets up like 600-700 million, fucking close to $1 billion. I'm like, fuck, I'll play now.
Yeah, it's morally incumbent at that point.
Yeah,
Your odds of winning are the same either way.
yeah.
Yeah, I had somebody
They
tell
are
me.
terrible.
I had somebody try to make the argument.
And
To me, like, I'm like, you won't play when it's 200 million because you're going to lose half in taxes. And the guy's like, well, that's not life changing wealth. And I'm like, $100 million isn't life changing wealth to you? Like,
Shit.
The fuck it isn't.
what
I
am I
could buy a
missing?
house.
Yeah.
I could pay off all my shit. I can get at least 2 to 3 cars.
y'all
Are
know
you
how
kidding?
Somebody
You're-
can hand me 15 grand right now, and I'd be the happiest motherfucker
Uh-huh.
you've seen.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
ready.
Are you kidding me? I could fucking retire off of probably like $1 million right now.
Right? I mean,
Juggles would have a fucking yard full of Velocitors.
I'd have a turbo veloster at the very least.
and he'd have 15 remote control velocitors.
I mean, $100 million, $100 million, your kids don't have to worry about it.
Oh,
Your
absolutely.
kids don't have to.
That's generational wealth.
Well, you got to invest it properly.
Yeah,
sure.
you have to take care of it, but
Yes.
it's not enough. It's not fuck you money, but it's.
What's
I
not
mean,
fucking money?
It depends on who you're saying fuck you to. Yeah, dude,
But,
it can still
you
be.
know what I mean? Like the term "fuck you" money means I can literally waste it, and I'm not going to run out of money. $100 million is not that. Not in these times. But
I was thinking fuck you money. You know where you got enough money now you can walk into your boss and say fuck you and then walk
no,
out.
well, I mean, shit. That fucking 20 grand will do that for me.
I look at
but-
fucking chat said, like you can waste it and not give a shit.
Yeah, like that's what I mean by "fuck you" money. It's fuck you. I can do whatever I want,
Yeah.
and don't ever have to worry about running
Like
out
you
of
walk
money.
into a car dealership, they look at you like you're the problem. Like, bitch, stack of cash. Fuck you. Do my
But
papers.
you
right now.
realize, I mean, the interest rates on that kind of money, your daily turnover would be in the millions. Would be in the millions. Your interest daily, you could spend $1 million a day. That's fuck you money.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, wait 30 days. Then
Yeah.
say fuck you. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it kind of is.
Yep. You guys ever seen the experiment where you ask somebody, they said, would you rather take $1 million now or 1 penny now that that the total doubles each day of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And the penny comes out to be almost triple.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
By the time it's done. And it's just man, finance is weird. Finance is really weird. And I know I say that working for a bank that I don't understand finance for shit, but I work in bankruptcy. I don't need to understand finance. But
neither do the people you deal with, right? So
the people that I deal with have they've got a lot of people around them that work with shit. So that's the thing. I've learned there's a very negative stigma around what I do when actually it helps people a fuck ton.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's one thing that I need to learn more about in my advanced age, as Dave has brought up.
Middle-aged fuck.
Finance and shit like that. Because I mean, like honestly, like my next big purchase is going to be a house somewhere somehow. But yeah, I have some work to do before that happens.
At this point, buy a house 15-year loan, not 30, because what does that put
Dude,
you
if
at?
I could
70 years old before you pay it off.
Yeah, right. That's yeah.
Okay, we can stop talking about age. I'm fucking getting depressed.
Yeah, so
we just fucked up our own day, man.
Yeah, right.
My day's been fucked up enough as it is.
You guys ever been to a casino, wasted any money there?
No.
I've been to a few, yeah.
I've always adopted the rule of don't gamble if you can't afford to lose, and I've never been fortunate enough to feel like I can afford to lose.
Dude,
I can only.
You got to go with fucking set amount of money in your pocket, and that is it. Leave your fucking credit cards, debit cards at home.
That'd be a hard line.
But the best fun I love, like I haven't been to a casino in years, but I can go to a roulette table with $100 and just sit there all day and fucking play. Just fucking small bets, fucking odd, even, red, black, and just fucking sit there, drink, and have a great time. Like you don't have to go there and fucking spend fucking thousands of dollars to have fun. You know what I mean? Like,
what's your bet? Every roulette player has a favorite bet. What's your bet?
Get in bed.
I know you probably play 8 at least once.
Black.
No. I put the.
You don't play 8?
I don't know the official terms, but I put most of my chips like on the in betweens. Like you put them in the corner, so you got 4 numbers. And it pays out.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than individual numbers because your odds are better. You know, if it's 12-1 on the corner, you know, for 4 numbers compared to 30-1 to hit a specific number.
That makes sense.
Your odds are a little better. So
I feel like you'd just play your number at least once.
I mean, I'd throw a chip out there on something, but I like you can literally sit there for hours and just play the outside, which is you know, whatever, and just fucking have fun. You don't need to go there to fucking. I've seen guys. I went to there's one up here in down Connecticut. I think it's Foxwood Casino. Watched a guy come in one night. He put $500 down on the table. All his $500, fucking spread it around, and he didn't win a fucking thing, and he walked away. I'm like, to me, man, that's not fucking fun.
I would be sick. I'd be nauseous.
How is you know what I mean? Like,
but I mean,
again, like you said, if he walked in there with that mentality,
his bank account,
this is $500. It's already gone.
Yeah.
Like you got to walk in there.
Yeah,
going,
I mean,
this is already gone. And just if it's gone, it's gone. But because then you literally can't lose at that point.
Like
all you can do is make more.
I'm a penny slot guy. Like fucking put
penny slot,
put $100 in it, and just fucking max bet on penny slots and fucking have a good time. Like
my sister used to work at a Greyhound dog track, and then they have live tables now, but at the time they didn't. But she would her husband
right
at
back,
the time, her ex-husband worked there as well. So every time she would come in, off shift, she'd walk through waiting on him to get out. She would only take in like maybe $2 or $3 with her. She played that $2 or $3, and every single night that girl would leave with money. It might be $20, it might be $250.
Yeah,
but she always left with something. I never understood. She said, "Well, when you work here, you watch people play in these things all the time, and she said there is a sequence to it." And see, my stepdad, my God rest his soul, he worked there as well, and he used to say that they caught a guy with a wand, and what the wand would do, you go around and you wave that underneath where the money slot thing is at the bottom, and it programs the darn machine. And they caught the guy. He was programming it to hit.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure enough. Crazy stuff though. But yeah, my sister was always lucky.
Same thing. I have people that I know that they go to the casino and every single time they're like, "Oh, I hit the jackpot for 6,000 or 3,000." I'm like, "Fuck! I go there, put $20 in, and I'm fucking done in 5 minutes. Like my money's fucking gone." You know. So I like to wait around. You see someone playing the slot for a while, and as soon as they get up, you just fucking sit down behind them because you know eventually, you might hit something.
Yeah, it's gonna pay out something, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's hard for the program to keep you sitting down if you don't if it doesn't hit. So have you guys ever noticed the carpet in a casino?
Literally never been in one.
Usually red and black is what I see.
So what they do is they make the carpet, the designs in the carpet so hideous that you won't look down when you're walking through their casino, so that you're always looking at the machines and all the lights flashing. It's a tactic to keep people playing.
Yeah,
it's kind of nuts. But if you pay attention, the carpets are always some funky, weird design.
Yeah,
usually like a maroon or black.
Yeah, it's true. It's
maybe
like
some gold.
It's sort of like merchandising, right? The fucking they design
there's a science.
Yeah,
there's a science to it.
Yep, to everything they do in there.
Like, and it's kind of off topic, but kind of the same thing. You guys ever watch Bar Rescue?
Yep.
And like, I was surprised watching that because like they had that on Marathon on Paramount sometimes, so I'll watch it. And I was really surprised at the amount of science that goes into that. Like, you listen to John Taffer talk, and like, dude knows his shit about what goes on, stats, what causes what. This is why we do this. This is why you don't do this. This is what happens if you do this wrong. And it's like, dude, like, and I feel like each industry's like that. Like, there's a science that nothing is done like willy nilly. There's always a science to it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just really that show was really interesting.
Find out. What?
This guy trying to just explain something intellectual, and this guy just sits on me like a chair. Like
you were doing a hell of a job though.
Oh my god! I'm sorry.
Just wakes up and kills the conversation.
I am not Josh.
I mean,
no,
there's a nickname. There's a nickname. Oh man.
Oh, I got an ice bag.
So do you guys what's the first cable modem you guys had? And I want to ask this to Juggles. What was your speed? First internet speed.
I have no idea.
By the time I had actually internet, I was going to college. Like, my parents, I think, still have the same internet speed they had when I was a kid. Like,
big guy went to college. Thinks he's better than us.
I had a 14.4 dial-up modem. You know,
mm-hmm.
You don't know what that is. It actually uses your telephone.
Yeah, that's what we had. That was
freaking awful.
56K, homie.
56K is a lot better than 14.4. 14.4 was the first one. And I mean, listen, if you wanted to download a picture, because that was like one of the cool things you could do.
Like you see it go,
you could do it. Yes, it's going to etch its way down your screen, and you might as well go make yourself a sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Look, hey, the little masturbators of today, they don't know the struggles of the old man.
Oh, dude, I get pissed now if I tap on somebody's Instagram story and I get the little circle and I'm like, hey, fuck you, just do it.
Yeah.
So, right. So what makes us angry now was like the most awesome thing back in the day. I was like, oh, look, I've got the internet. You can get into what, like a chat room via AOL, because that's what I had was AOL.
Fucking AIM.
Yep.
AIM. Yep. Yep.
But yeah, and then it was. And then today, it's like if your internet's 3G, they're upset about it. 3G wireless, mind you. It's just wild. It's a big difference the way technology has developed over the years. It's to see it go from no internet at all and no cell phones, just a freaking what was the coolest thing is having a pager.
Yeah.
Type your secret coded messages on a pager.
Hey, I remember when the fucking BlackBerry was a thing, and everyone wanted a fucking BlackBerry phone.
Oh, I had a BlackBerry.
I had one too with a full keyboard. It's fucking
Oh, yeah.
badass for its
Nope.
time.
Before the BlackBerry, I had a Palm Trio.
I had a Palm
Oh,
Trio.
wow.
Dude, that Palm
Yeah.
Trio was badass.
Yeah, oh,
dude.
it was sweet
That was
for
a-
its time.
That was a PC in my pocket. I just pull out the stylus and everybody's like,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
a
look.
pen. Like,
The fuck?
tap, tippity tap, tippity tap. Yeah, fuck you bitches. It smells like broken here.
This motherfucker here.
And now,
It's
and
like,
now
I'm
there's
better than
nothing
you, and
can-
I know it.
literally nothing you can't do now. You can actually wear glasses that you can talk to, and it'll post the image up in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's that look just like regular glasses.
Yeah.
So it just blows me away. You know, you just kind of look at it and go, okay, and it does the motion with your hands. It's
Mhm.
nuts.
Yeah, what do they call them? Like the haptive or something suits they're coming out with now that fucking
Oh, haptic.
haptic.
Oh
that
yeah,
has-
haptic
so
feedback
you,
suits.
yeah, so
Yeah,
you can feel the whole
yeah.
thing. And they sort of have that in smaller areas for a while now. You could get the haptic vest. So if
Yeah.
you're playing like Call of Duty and you get shot, it'll vibrate in your stomach.
Well, I
or
mean, like
whatever.
haptics just means any kind of movement
Vibration. Yeah.
that goes that like we talk about butt kickers and stuff with iRacing. That's haptics.
Yep, that's haptics.
Yeah.
And like it, yeah. So and they're just kind of expanding upon that. I mean, haptics is your controller vibrating on your PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's also haptics. It helps with the immersion. So they're coming with with suits like that. That's going to be interesting to see how far they actually take that, because I can tell you right now, I'm not wearing a haptic suit that has any kind of crotch piece. I know that. No, thank you. I don't need that kind of immersion.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that that zombie game I was playing in VR the other day. I don't think I can handle 6 zombies around me and their hands and stuff all over me
Yeah.
like that. That's just
Well,
good.
that would be sweet if we all had the suits and we get into like a fucking meta
Boxing
universe thing, and I can kick Chad
Tell
in
you
the
what.
nuts and he feels it.
I was just going to say, if we get
Fucking
haptic
sweet.
suits, if we get haptic suits that have like crotch plates and stuff like that, first thing I'm doing is kicking juggles in the nuts.
Yep.
Oh, you know what the
Right.
first thing I'm doing is wearing a cup.
I gotta get kicked in the nuts. What the fuck?
No offense. I mean, nothing personal, man. You just be the funniest.
Fucking,
On that
yeah.
particular note, I got hit in the dick the other day playing lacrosse. That shit fucking hurt.
Must have been aiming at your belt.
I was wearing a fucking cup at the same time, so that fucking sucked. It was not an ideal situation to be in.
Oh my god! I don't feel like the way that started would ever be an ideal situation.
Yeah, no, well, I was playing goalie, and I mean, I'm doing my job, and it's
Mhm.
just like it hit. It's like, oh fuck! Like immediately, there was no break between the it hit. Okay, I gotta make sure where the ball is at. No, it was full. Fuck that shit. No,
Like that.
When you
I'd
start
be on the
going,
I'd be on the ground taking inventory. How hurt am I?
Yeah, like,
I did.
is there any blood? Are we good?
Yeah.
That
Taking
shit
that
was-
mental inventory, like system check.
Yeah, fuck all that.
No, thanks. No, thank you.
So I do gotta say, so last weekend we had our my nephew had his 4th race of the season.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys saw the pictures, but we had a fucking one half wrecked race car
Really?
by the end of it.
Sorry, Dave. What
Sorry, Dave.
the
What was
hell?
that?
Somebody's very upset at their Mario Party or whatever the hell.
Mario Party.
Yeah, I think I heard the F bomb like
Fuck
more
is
times
wrong
than
with
what we've
you?
said the whole episode.
It's just
She just like it's a whole new language of fucks right there. Like,
No
I- she shouldn't have any more fucks to give. I'm just saying.
I might have to go to church this weekend.
Yeah, me too.
Don't fucking lie and say you're gonna go to church.
I said
He gave himself an out. He said might.
God damn it.
Sweet
Hey,
Jesus.
Juggles moved his microphone closer to his face.
Not really, but sure.
Sound nice and clear. Clear.
clear. Clear.
So yeah, David, continue, man. What were
Yeah,
you
so
saying?
we got like, pretty much a wrecked race car by the end of the race. It was great.
Yeah, I saw the rear bumper torn off of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a
That
rough
Front
sucks.
end
one.
was
I
a
know
little
he-
damaged.
You know, he had a really good race the week before, didn't
Week before, yeah, finished second. He had a fast car. He went to get underneath somebody, and they just kind of chopped him. And he decided not to really lift and said "fuck you," and that was fine. That really wasn't much of the issue. It was after they straightened it out and got going again, the guy kind of hooked him and ripped his rear bumper off him. And then
Yeah, shout out to Callahan Cox Motorsports.
Yeah. So then
Check him out on
after
Facebook.
later in the race, there was a yellow that came out, and he checked up for it, and 3 cars behind him didn't check up for it, and he got spun around. So
Like a real life iRacing lobby.
pretty much. So yeah, got a lot of work to do on that to get it back for Saturday. But
And if any of you folks out there listening would like to be a part of a race team by way of sponsorship, reach out to Callahan.
yeah, Callahan Cox Motorsports on Facebook. We'll hook you up.
Tires aren't free, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Neither are those rear bumpers.
Oh, and
Now you got a
on
second
another
place the week before.
on another note,
I-
he has had no power steering in that car since week 1.
Mm.
So for
Good for
for
him.
him to do what he's doing, and we've been trying, but now we're gonna have to spend the money on a power steering pump. It's the only that's the first step, and then if it's not that, it's gonna have to be the rack. But
Mm.
yeah, so he's been complaining all the whole fucking year, and we just like, you're gonna have to just tough it out. Like, just fucking get on the wheel and go, because when you only got a week between races, it's hard.
Yeah. Do those cars have caster adjustment?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
They do. Do you guys run
Yeah, we
kind of crazy
we
caster in it?
ran a lot more to help
Yeah.
compensate for the power steering than
Yeah,
more
'cause
than we
that's
normally
what-
would.
That's what a lot of people don't realize, and you hear it a lot when they talk about cup races when guys lose their power steering. At least in the Gen 6 cars, I'm not sure about the. Actually, I think it's the same in the next gen cars. Is that everybody's like, oh, they're wusses because when you're moving, it doesn't matter what power steering. It's like when you're
No.
running a crazy amount of caster like that, those things are
They're a
hard
handful.
a
Yeah.
turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not fun at all. So yeah, props to him for that.
Yeah, hey, and speaking of racing, All American Racing League has wrapped up all 3 series now. We finished up the Cup Series last night with Lilith Peters winning the championship, edging out her teammate for that championship. We know a little bit about that, Dave, about edging out teammates.
Yeah, I do.
But yeah, it wasn't us this year. But sure enough, congratulations to Lilith, and I believe
Sure.
Sean Purcell ended up with the Xfinity Series championship.
He did.
For Blues Race Design Series, and then we had the Or Lawn Care Truck Series. There's also one by Sean Purcell.
Yeah.
And that was Dominion. So congratulations to you. That was a Dominion car, was it not?
The truck was.
Truck was, okay.
Yeah, we've never had an Xfinity team. So yeah, a couple notes about that. Dominion, we decided to close our cup operation at the end of this year. We did go out with a win, with Peter taking the win in the race, the actual race last night, which was kind of cool. But our truck team is going to continue. It's probably just going to be 1 or 2 trucks, maybe for myself and one other person going forward. But yeah, Sean had a pretty good season with us this year. He was running for No Bucks Motorsports, which is actually owned by Peter Terrio, in the Xfinity Series. But yeah, the truck that he won the championship with, I'd say Dominion Motorsports. That's honestly more Johnny's deal with that truck than mine. So he deserves more of the kudos for that. He's the one that actually pulled Sean in and brought him into the league for us. So yeah, it's that was more his deal than mine.
Well, congrats to you then, Johnny.
Yeah, but it was a pretty good season. Yeah, but it'll probably be back for next season, but it'll probably be like some part-time stuff maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But
All right.
we'll see.
Yeah, so congrats to all the champions. Well, the 2 champions, I guess.
Yeah,
Purcell
absolutely.
and
It's all the
Lilith Peters.
drivers. It's all the drivers for getting through this season. It wasn't without what's the word I'm looking for? Adversity.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah,
a tough
but-
season, hard season. A lot of stuff that I wish hadn't have gone on, but it did. We'll all I can do is kind of keep moving forward with it, but a lot of learning, and we'll see what next season brings. Some changes coming. Looking forward to it. So
Yeah,
Some exciting changes.
I know I'm stoked about learning them all and getting started for sure.
yeah. So,
I'm stoked about running a full season again.
Yeah, I was over in the HMS garage dusting off some cars the other day. Just go out and run some laps in a different
I'm
car.
kind of in a predicament, to be honest.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't own a particular brand of car that my team runs for Gen 6.
Oh well,
Juggles doesn't either.
we'll have to talk to a guy about that.
I think we'll be good. I'll just maybe have someone paint a Chevy logo on the front of it.
We'll just have to make sure you get a Chevy. You don't want to have subpar equipment.
I mean, hey, the Toyota. I like the Toyota in the Gen 6.
Spoiler alert: he said Gen 6.
Gen 6. No, I think everyone knows here what's going on. But
wait. Oh, that is a next gen car, isn't it?
Gen 6, next gen 4.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, I thought we were running Wheel and Mods next season.
I thought it was gonna be the 410 winged.
I thought we were running street stocks.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, Legends. We'll do Legends.
Okay.
Well, that's fine.
But yeah, be interesting. Maybe something with. Never mind. We'll hold off on that.
Yeah. So for Jack, as far as Jackass Nation's concerned, we're taking, we'll have a little time off. You may hear of some fun races here and there that we'll be doing. If you're a part of the league, then you'll definitely hear about it. If you're part of the Discord, I'm sure. And the changes, we'll try to get them out here as well. But you can always get on Facebook to All American Racing League and give us a like and follow there. Check it out. We'll make announcements there a little better than we have been. And you can see what's coming in the upcoming season. And if you're ready to come race with us, come on.
Yeah. I don't know. Johnny is going to be part-time. Johnny, are you going to try to run a few more next season?
I really don't know. It's kind of up in the air, but we'll see.
I think Johnny should start a small late model series. That's what Johnny should do.
I have thought about it. But I don't. I don't know.
Johnny, I just have to tell you, it involves a lot of listening to people talk.
Yeah, well.
And we all know Johnny don't like to listen to people talk.
And being level-headed enough to make decisions that make sense.
We get it already.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He'd have a Discord server that just you couldn't comment on. Nobody could say anything.
No emojis. Hey, Dave, can you at least break the news about the emojis? Are they coming back or are they not?
Emoji Gate.
Emoji Gate. Yes, they will come back. I just had to chill everyone out for a little bit.
Well, you heard it here first, right here on the Mule Barn.
The emojis are coming back.
They're coming back.
Here's the problem. Okay,
near you.
Here's the problem with the emojis.
Some of y'all is leaving, but the emojis are coming
back. I never thought that taking away emojis would devastate so many people the way it did. It was comical to me because
you couldn't have you couldn't have given them back given the privileges back at that point. After the flurry of comments started, because it was just too funny to see what was going to happen.
Exactly. After I saw it, it just made. I was actually thinking about bringing them back, and then when the comments started coming in, I was like, "Fuck this! I'm just going to leave it for a while because, okay. We've discussed this already. I'm middle aged. I don't give a fuck about emojis. Half of them I don't even know what the fuck they mean. So
it made me want to find the head exploding emoji and post that up or something.
Yeah.
Emoji, I guess is what it would be.
I think it was the fact that, maybe not everybody, but it was a couple people that would, when we made the rule that you can't we don't want people to badmouth each other in the chat, but they were finding the loophole with the emoji to get their message across and still thinking that's okay. And that's what kind of sparked me and everyone else to say, okay, we're fucking pulling them because you're using them in kind of a hateful, disrespectful manner. Like, Still be respectful.
What pushed it over the edge, I think, is there were several, let's say, announcements made by admins that people didn't agree with that they then put sarcastic emojis on.
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, yeah, it sounds petty when we say it out loud like that, but the fact of the matter is, it's like, a decision was made, a decision was made, and the admins made that decision. It needs to be respected. If you don't respect the admins of the league that you're in, then you need to leave.
Yeah. So I mean,
you need to find
that's
another league.
that's the other.
That's just the way it is.
I try to
Like,
keep my
and
mouth
I feel
shut.
like, yeah,
because
I feel like we're a little bit, we listen to our members a lot more than a lot of leagues do. And I think a lot of the problem that is that by doing that, setting that precedent, it became expected that they had all the pull in the world over any decision that we ever made. And then when we put our foot down about absolutely anything, it became a problem.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, I think we just gave too much wiggle room off the jump, but that's just my opinion.
You know what I think we need to do? Hear me out. In Discord, we need an area called the ring or the cage. And what happens is if a driver decides that they want to have it out with another driver, what they can do is they can say, I challenge you to the cage, and that person can accept or not accept. But once they accept, they can't bitch about what's said inside that cage. And then the two of them go in that cage together with an admin to mediate, just to kind of sit back and laugh at it all or whatever, and let them go at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when it's done, they have to leave it done. And they can't be mad about what's said inside that cage. They chose whether or not to go in there. They chose the abuse.
Everything gets deleted. Everything gets deleted after they're done.
Well, no, they go in there verbally. I say we do verbally right at heat of the moment, right after the race.
No, I'm saying when they're done, it gets deleted because I'm not going to have somebody screenshotting something from it.
Well, that's why there's no typing. That's why there's no typing.
They're in
there.
Voice chat. Gotcha.
Voice only.
No.
Voice only. And then it's over with, right? And then it's over with. You squash it after this. Nothing gets said in any chat anywhere. It's done.
I will say
both parties have to agree to go into that cage, because then they know that whatever I said when I go in here, they badmouth me. I'm taking that chance by going in there.
Yeah,
that's what I know is happening.
I will say I've been known to lose my temper. I've toned it down. I control myself, but there was a moment.
Quit racing with us.
There was a moment this season with a couple of drivers, and I won't say the names, but.
Don't say it.
I went in. I was sitting there. I think I was talking with Juggles at the time, and I was fucking pissed about how everything was going. And I see them in the chat with Corey, which was race control at the time, and they wanted to talk to somebody. I probably should have just waited, but I went in there, and I fucking lost my shit on those two.
Oh yeah.
I think Juggles may have popped in near the end of it.
It was definitely a wait till your father gets home situation. Daddy's home.
And once my rant was over, after like 5 minutes of just fucking screaming, it was good. I got it out. I was fine. You know what I mean? And we had a decent conversation after that. But I've been known to. I do better. I don't say much during the races anymore like I used to. Just wait.
The thing is, when you hear Dave start getting spicy during the race, you know the race is not going well. Like when it's we're on lap 25 on our 13th caution.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
I'm not exaggerating. That has happened.
I can't take it half the time, so I behave.
What really gets me is when the group. I say the group as a whole, but you guys know the group that will continuously complain about a racetrack instead of making any attempt to get better at it.
Yeah.
Because they believe they don't need to get better at it because they don't believe that they're the ones causing the problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Perfect example. We're going down this iRacing hole, but Martinsville always, right? Every time Martinsville comes
I'm right
up,
there on the same page
it's
with
a
you.
fucking shit show and people bitch about it. But I'll tell you right now, Martinsville, we can run that fucking clean if people just fucking take the time to do it and figure it out. You know, like Hillbilly, we brought this up many times. Me and Hillbilly ran a bunch of officials back to back, and they were some of the best races, and those were official races. Yep. You know, people were patient. They took their time. And then you get into this league shit, and I don't know if it's just league related, but people lose their fucking mind. It's like
It's usually the other way around.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
I've run officials where they're clean at Martinsville, and then you get into
I think
leagues.
I think it's the level of competition you have within a league, and then you got folks that are it's short track racing and they're like, gotta get it, gotta go at it, gotta go at it, gotta go at it, and end up driving over our heads is what happens. But then in the officials, I think a lot of people are like, okay, I have something on the line here if they're thinking about their SR or I rating, those two scoring methods. So they're like, well, I'll just kind of take it a little easy and give a little bit more space, which it surprised me the day that, when Dave and I were doing that, it surprised me. But then the next time Martinsville came around, I got out and did it again.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing.
Yeah. And just what, another thing I think happens is that there's a double-edged sword, because the reason I got into leagues is because I like knowing who I'm racing against.
Yeah.
I like having some familiarity with the group that's around me, but there's pros and cons to that. Because as we've seen a couple, little mini rivalries bubble over this year. And when that happens, when you race the same guys every week, sometimes you get two guys running side by side who won't give each other an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and then that's when you end up with situations like that.
Yeah.
But then, just in Martinsville is exactly what I was thinking of, Dave, when I brought that up. It's just Martin. It's so sad that our Martinsville races turn out that way, because at least to me, Martinsville is such a fun racetrack. It's so technical. It's so difficult. And it pains me when I hear a group of racers go, "Oh, I'd rather go to a mile and a half." Why? And it's like, why? Because it's easy.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want easy? Why? Like, I'll never understand that. Why do you want something that's easy? Why? I want, you guys have heard me be like, man, I suck at this, but I want to get better at it. Like, Douglas, how many times have you helped me through road racing? I'm a terrible road racer, but I love road racing.
Yeah.
So what happened when we come to next gens?
Huh? The next gen, because I tried it. I tried.
I mean, you said it yourself that you just hate that you can't get the next gen, can't figure it out, but then you quit doing it. You got to do it to get better.
Hey, I tried. I didn't stick through the whole season, the last couple seasons, but I've turned many laps in that car and I cannot figure it out. And that's me throwing my hands up, and I'm not going to say, but that's not me going and saying this car sucks. No, I suck at this car. It's on me. I will own that. And that's something that you don't see in that group. It's never, man, I'm not good at this racetrack, or I can't understand this car. It's this car sucks. This track sucks. This is going to be a shit show because of this racetrack. No, it's going to be a shit show because you don't know what the fuck you're doing, because you won't practice.
Yeah.
And
it's like when they first released the next gen, I took to it. Hillbilly took to it. The first season we ran them. Then when they did all the fixes that this following season, I had to relearn it, and I wasn't as good as I was when they first released it. So it takes time. You gotta work at it. I got to the point where if I stayed out of trouble, I look at a top 5. You know what I mean? Top, maybe have a chance at winning one. But yeah, it's just when they throw those changes, that's the stuff that happens. But
So speaking of changes, let's move on into the real world, into the Cup Series. What did you guys think about Wilkesboro as a weekend with Wilkesboro? It's cool that the track was the work that they did there was absolutely amazing. I'm glad that they left the outside of the one building still says Winston Cup Series, original paint, all that. So that looked pretty cool. My opinion, well, I mean, my favorite driver won the $1 million on Sunday, but the truck race was cool. The Cars Tour racing was cool. The Cup race, there wasn't much. I mean, that was a winning move, pitting on the first caution. That's really what gave Kyle Larson that ability to get all the way to the front there and to be able to bide time for his tires. Now, he passed every single car, which is no easy feat at North Wilkesboro. But had they all been on the same pit cycle, I don't know how much lead changes and new leaders there would have been throughout the night. Thoughts?
I wasn't able to watch it.
Okay. I have a theory. I think there's hope for it. The weekend is the weekend as a whole, I believe was a slam dunk. Just for the fan engagement, for the prestige that was around the facility, the pure excitement for people to be back at this racetrack, myself included. The race itself, I think there are several problems here. It's not just the race car. It's not just the racetrack. It's not just the tire on the race car. All three of those things are present. With the way that the track was repaired, and don't get me wrong, it needed the repairs that were done. It put a grip strip around the bottom of the racetrack, and if you weren't glued to the bottom of the racetrack, you weren't going to go anywhere, and that made passing damn near impossible. Now, Larson just had lights out, was the best car there. They hit it, and that's going to happen. And it's just like I go to my guy's interview, Chase Elliott. He said, Kyle and Cliff, they hit it perfect, and he's like, not every race is going to be a barn burner. Like every once in a while, you're going to have it. That's racing. That's natural racing. Every once in a while, a guy's going to hit it, and he's going to wear everybody out, and that's what happened tonight. And with that, I don't have a problem with a pure win like that, honestly. But I don't think we're done seeing changes to this car, at least for the way the short tracks are concerned, because there's just too many people in an influential position that are calling for it. Not the least of all being Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's very vocal about, and Juggles will probably fight us on this, about get rid of the shifting, and also,
fix the short track package.
The short track package. He's like, just like, because I listened to his podcast for yesterday, and he was just like, he's like, I was disappointed. He's like, I'll tell you. He's like, a huge disappointment in the way that race went. He's like, I'm not sure. He's like, I don't have the answer. He's like, but I don't think they're done making changes to the cars. Now, I think once the track, I'm not a big proponent of repaving a track, but from what this track needs, I mean, that surface is 40 years old. It needs to be repaved. But I think what that's going to do is even out the grip across the surface rather than having 100% grip at the bottom and 10% grip everywhere else. So you don't have everybody fighting for one lane to get their left side tires down on that grip strip down around the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Larson's running 2 inches from the inside wall, completely off of the racing surface in 3 and 4, because that's where all the grip is on the concrete down there.
He learned that in the truck race when he won that one just a few nights earlier.
Like there should be a rule that tells them to race in a very specific section of the track. Oh wait,
there is no such rule on a short track.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like there should be one. Oh wait, everybody fucking hates that idea.
Yeah, because you don't want to. Might as well paint lanes on them and tell them they can't change lanes.
Yeah, you'd have a lot more of moving people. If that were the case, I think. I mean, you could be patient and wait on a guy to slip up or to get a good run on him. But if they're literally just painting that line that you have to run in as well, you're going to move them big time. You're going to move them big.
And my point is that line becomes less important to be down there if there's grip across the racetrack. And there's a lot of different things they can do with the design of that racetrack to try and get it done. Now, I'm still waiting for them to science out, and again, I don't know how feasible this is. I feel like it's not very feasible, otherwise it'd have been done already, to where they could put down new pavement that is also abrasive and needs tires.
Well, they can, and they've got that technology already figured out of
why won't they use it?
Well, because in most cases they were looking for, like Atlanta, they were looking for more speed, right? And then they turned it into a freaking restrictor plate race. Basically, I know they don't use plates anymore, but still the same thing.
At Atlanta, but if you go to repave a place like Homestead or like, when Auto Club was still a conversation, like they would repave it and it's a ton of grip and no tire wear.
But you have to think though, the reason they do that is because they're looking to build a track. When you're paying that much money to repave this, you're wanting that track to be able to wear for years. Now, if you're building something that's already worn in like that, that's going to kick up marbles because it has to be porous on top.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That's the science part of what I'm saying.
Well, it's going to chunk out that asphalt as well over time. Every race you're going to get a little bit of that kicking up.
Yes,
right.
And now you're coming up to the science part of what I'm saying is the science out a racetrack that can be paved that way and can
Be versatile.
remain and be versatile and remain that way, and just kind of it's going to wear and it's going to take character as it goes and goes, but
They just pour
That's-
concrete all the way
I
around.
don't think there is that much of a science that needs to go into it. I mean, Indianapolis is very abrasive, but very long lasting because of the way it's cut or the way that it's
But it wasn't always that way, right? So when they first did that, the last pave there, it probably wasn't wearing tires the way it is now. I mean, it's an age track. But speaking of Indianapolis, Juggles, you probably like this idea, but fixing turn 1 on the road course. How do you do that? That's somewhere where I say you take Juggles' idea of say, okay, this is the line. So halfway down that start finish line, and I guess this is the front stretch there, going to right-handed turn 1, narrow that sucker up. Change that part of the course to where it's narrow, and then you don't have guys plowing into turn 1 at 4 and 5 wide, causing a big iRacing pile up on the first turn of the race. That's a problem. Or they take that access road and try to get away with that, with that.
Yeah, I think some of the issue there though is just the general form of turn 1. Like it's a 90-degree corner.
But if you narrow it up, you don't have guys going all the way to that inside, causing that 4 and 5 wide, because that's where the problem happens. Guys that are trying to outbreak the other guys and get further to that inside.
Sure, but what do you do to police it though? Because
you make it to where before getting to the turn, you narrow that front stretch down to just 2 lanes.
I mean, the chicane gets narrowed forcefully because it's a chicane. They still cut it on restarts.
But you're not going to be able to do that if you go ahead.
NASCAR is never going to narrow a turn down to 1 lane.
No.
Not the turn. I'm talking about the entry of the straightaway. Not 1 lane, 2 lanes. Because right now it's like you could fit 5, 6 wide if you wanted.
As much as NASCAR celebrates side-by-side racing, it will never happen.
No.
If they want to quit having the big pileups in turn 1, I think it will.
They don't.
They don't. It's entertainment.
It's the show, man.
The problem is that
I think the drivers will have their way with that. But go ahead, Juggles. I'm sorry.
I mean, it is a track issue, yes, but I think it's more of a personnel issue than anything else. When I say that, I mean drivers. Like, at what point do we tell them, hey, you can't race right now? Admittedly, in saying that, there is one track in the world that I know 100% they throw, it's a perpetual yellow flag in this particular area of the track. If you ever look up, there's a track called Macau. I've talked about it before. There's one turn on that track that is a 180-degree, quite literal hairpin turn. Like you have to crank your wheel all the way over to full lock to even make the corner. There's the entry into that corner is a perpetual yellow flag. You cannot pass into that corner.
Yeah, but I mean, like the turns at Indy are made for 2 cars.
Yes, but I'm saying, but specifically for turn 1, like even if you do it just for the restart, you cannot pass into turn 1. Okay, that fixes 90% of that problem.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to take that opportunity to make a pass out of the race because that is a 90-degree turn. I was just saying instead of allowing 4 lanes, 5 lanes, like on the highway, you have 5 lanes, and all of a sudden they condense into 2 lanes. But in the middle of a turn, you're gonna have accidents. But if you get those condensed into 2 lanes while the cars are still going straight, then everybody makes it through that turn. If they wreck side by side, that's racing. But just piling in there 4 and 5 wide, trying to dive bomb everyone else, because that's what's happening on these restarts at that road course. And I don't know that. The only solution, I mean, that would be the easiest solution, right?
Well, it's the same thing at like Coda, right? Coda was the same thing, getting into turn 1.
Exactly.
Everybody, it comes down to more or less respect and all that stuff getting into the corner. Most of those, you look at it as these guys in NASCAR should be, they're the best drivers in the country, right? Or in the world. They're some of the best drivers, but they don't act like it when they're on the racetrack half the time. So,
well, they all would win.
Yeah, but I mean, they do stupid shit. I mean,
part of this problem also is that you take all these guys, you tell them you got to win at all costs, and you put them in an indestructible race car. They're going to go down there and bulldoze. I have a theory that I can't submit it as my own theory because I've heard it other places. and I think it would not eliminate these issues, but it would cut them down to, I think, what I believe would be an acceptable level. And
Weaken the
this could
control
be-
arms.
This could be put in place at Coda and at Indy Road Course. Move the restart zone.
Yeah.
Who says why does the restart zone have to be on the front straightaway? You put the restart zone. You know, if you put the restart zone just a little bit past pit entry at Indy, right there where everybody gets straightened out. That way, they have a little bit of time to get down that straightaway and get a little bit legged out from each other, so they're not running 4 and 5 wide to get down into that turn. Same thing for Coda. You know, do it before you go around the last turn. Throw the green in that last long straightaway before you make that left-hander to come up the hill. And, you know, everybody's got to go through that turn first, which is a little bit wider, a little bit more forgiving, and a lot more runoff. And, you know, it lets them sort themselves out a little bit so you don't have all the dive bombing and bashing people out of the way in turn one. Now, it's not going to eliminate the problem, but I feel like it would greatly reduce it.
And that's the same opinion Dale Earnhardt Jr. had on his podcast about was at Coda was taking and moving the restart zone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a different way you could do that without really having to move anything. You just get rid of the restart zone entirely and leave it on the driver. They do that in one. When they're coming to their restarts, which obviously isn't often if you watch enough F1, it doesn't happen often. But when it does, there's generally a turn, like we'll say the end of the carousel at Coda, the long right-hander. All of the cars maintain a speed, and the safety car, or in this case the pace car, just takes off and just gets the fuck out of the way as fast as they can to get to the pit road entry. And the driver will take off maybe a turn and a half before they get to the front stretch or the front straightaway, the main straightaway, and let them it sorts itself out after.
Yeah, but I mean, in real racing, you know, where they race side by side and stuff, that doesn't work out because you need the cars to be able to start at the same time. In road racing, I see how that
it's just a restart.
No, but see, the thing is, if you don't have an area in which, so it used to be on the green flag, right? But you always had people jump in the restart, always.
Yeah. Makes it impossible to police restarts.
Now that they have this zone, the leader cannot take off until they pass this area, and they have to do it before this area, or it's open to anyone. So that driver, it now causes that driver who's in second to always watch the leader, wait for that leader to jump before they go. Otherwise, if you do it like they do in Indy, we're gonna have a majorly and no side by side. I mean, eventually you'd have side by side racing because of it's the type of car, but it's still not going to be as exciting for the fans. I know myself.
Well, you can only have one or the other though. Either you want the side by side racing, or you want the dipshittery that happens in turn one at 2 tracks to stop. You can't really.
Well, no. So if you're referring back to the road courses,
like it's still going to happen,
right?
Hey, personally,
what happened at Coda was embarrassing. What happened at Indy last year was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Personally, I like what Juggles call it, dipshittery. I personally like it because I usually don't typically tune in. If I can tune in for a race, it's not till the end. So I like to see all that bullshit happen because it's fun. Fucking makes it exciting to fucking watch. Because a lot of these races are fucking boring as hell anyways. So spice it up.
Tell you one of the few things that actually saved Coda from being a total shit show is the fact that the guy with the best car had the best car all day, did not get punted out of the way in the last restart. But I can tell you, everybody would have been a lot louder about this shit if Reddick would have been taken out and didn't win that race. Because hands down, Reddick deserved to win that race. He was the best car all day long, all weekend long.
Yeah. And
so if you sit there and watch that whole race, and then the guy who's lights out better than everybody gets taken out by something stupid like that, something's got to be done about that. And I mean, I bitch about a lot of this stuff, but I don't envy the position NASCAR's in because they have there's been a lot of change going on lately, and they're dealing with a lot of growing pains right now, especially with the car. And it's, in my opinion, it kind of flipped the script because with the Gen 6 car, at least with the 550 package, the races on 1.5 miles were terrible, but the road courses and the short tracks were awesome. and now it's completely flipped that script. Now they race great on mile and a halves.
Look, I mean, we can't bitch about any of NASCAR's car changes since the COT and its
fat fucking lame
that it had on the back of it. So,
So okay, I'll argue this particular point. You can't put road courses on if the racing's better. It's a fucking road course.
right? Yeah, I mean, the racing's going to be what it is there.
Any car on a road course, you can make it a one make series type of thing on a road course. It's going to come down more often than not to the best driver.
Steering wheel, yeah.
Right. Now, in the case where Tyler Reddick went out there and won the race, I don't think he's the best road course guy. I think he had the absolute best car, like you said. There's drivers out there that are much better road course guys than what Tyler Reddick is, but he had the best car.
I will only slightly combat that because, I mean, you look back last year at Indy and at Road America, in a completely different race, completely different car, still wore their ass out.
You mean Chevy or the chassis?
The chassis, the body, the team, the whole car, different.
Last year
he was in the 8 car.
Last year he was in the next gen car though.
Yes, it's built by a different team.
All the chassis are the same.
They're not exactly the same. They're not.
Yes, they are.
Not,
Ask Bubba; he'll tell you that the louvers are still messed up on HMS cars.
They are not assembled by the same people. There are differences.
No, but motherfucker, you and I watch some of the same podcasts or listen to some of the same podcasts, and people have talked about it comes in a fucking box and they put it together.
Yes, and every single one of those podcasts will tell you it depends on who's putting it together. They're not assembled the same way by everybody.
But what I'm saying is the chassis is the same, correct?
The chassis parts are the same.
If the parts are the same, it's the fucking same, Chad. They can get the parts from one place.
They
get all
sourced.
of the controller for all of the cars from one place.
I can tell you this: the motors aren't the same. Russ Chastain's about to find that out.
Well, yeah, the motors are absolutely different. They're different manufacturer.
Well, he gets his from the same place Kyle Larson gets his, but I guarantee you he's not going to get as good a one as Larson gets the next few weeks.
Is Trackhouse aligned with?
Yeah, with Hendrick. That's where all the drama comes with him wrecking Larson there about 3 times.
Yeah,
Hendrick finally speaking out against it, and then all of a sudden you see that Chastain's people decided to go ahead and have a talk with him about it. Watermelon Man. Listen, this has been a fun episode of the Mule Barn. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
You know, we talked about a whole bunch of shit like we always promised to do. Some of it, I don't think any of it was really funny this time. But
Excuse me?
that was funny. See, you proved me wrong. But anyway, Jackass Nation, we appreciate you tuning in to our 7th episode of the Mule Barn. I think we're gonna get our asses out of here. See ya.
See you guys.